is hot.
This is why we hot.
Oh, I was thinking about the block is hot. The block is hot. The block is hot, hot, hot.
That's one of what's her name songs. Erica about that.
Oh yeah, that's the jam.
I love that song.
It's called Danger.
Yeah.
Yuri.
That's one of my favorite songs.
Danger.
What's up, y'all? You hear us chit-chatting. What's happening? Tonight is Tuesday night, and it is time for the Black of the Berry. It's your girl, Lotus J. We live at the HighVibe, HighVibe Media Marketing Group. And we got a lot to talk about tonight. We got a whole lot to talk about tonight. What's happening, y'all?
What's up?
All the Aries in the building.
Hey.
It's Aries season.
Already.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it is.
So, let's talk about that. What does Aries mean? I got my own meaning in my head.
What you? You can't just make up.
Yeah, mine's fit.
Yours fit.
Yes.
In a nutshell, it means that we're the shit.
That's not what it means. Yeah. That's Aries for you. That's Aries
If
for
you
you.
Google it, I think it says that.
No.
I mean, hey, what can I say?
It's hot in here.
But you know
It's a
what?
little hot.
I mean, I think about it. Every single person on the planet thinks that their sign is the number one.
They really do.
They're supposed to.
But they're misguided.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
They
I'm just playing.
if everybody thinks the sign is special, then
Does
But
that
you
mean?
supposed to think you special.
like Eddie Murphy said, if every day is a sunny day, then what's a sunny day?
Every day.
I'm saying it means nothing if every
It's
day is
just-
a sunny
that's what it
day.
is all
Yeah.
the time. I don't know. But I personally, I'm going to be humble, and I'm not bringing up the most fabulous sign because it is Aries season, and I can respect that. I can celebrate y'all.
That's a jug.
It's
But
a what?
but we'll take that. That was a jug.
No, it's not.
I know you, sis. That was a jug.
I'm saying I
You're
can
trying to be all
celebrate y'all.
humble and
Everybody thinks their sign is the bomb.
They are.
stuff. Yeah, they do.
They supposed to.
I suppose.
Why would you think anything? Why would you think somebody else is the bomb? And
No,
you're
I'm
not?
saying we all crazy for thinking we all.
Why?
I mean, because
so
clearly
you
we're
think you
all not the
crazy
bum.
for thinking you the bomb.
Yeah.
Why?
Because everybody think they sign is the bomb.
Well,
So
I
what's the
don't.
use?
I
So
don't
what's the
think
use?
I'm crazy for thinking I'm the
I
bum.
do.
I don't think I'm
I don't.
crazy.
I do. I'm like, wait, why we wasting our time
That's
every
a nice
month?
green shirt.
Thank you. Every month we all
Everybody
saying the
talking about
same
that little
thing.
shirt.
It looks nice.
Everybody
Thank
else
you.
said something about that little pea green line. I do like it though. I said it too.
Pea green, huh?
I
P
think it's cute.
P-E-E or P-E-A?
No,
Let you- I'm gonna let
PEA.
you-
I was
let
thinking
you-
PEA, but dang. Who has green PEE?
People with VDE.
Okay.
All right, y'all. So let's talk about the weekend. What happened this weekend?
Oh,
Everything.
nothing.
What didn't happen this weekend? Like, what didn't... Look, if you weren't at Brickhouse this weekend...
Don't say that.
Why?
Don't do that.
I have
She
to.
know I hate
Be
that.
humble.
I have to...
I don't like that.
Well, it's not you saying it. It's me saying it.
Don't do that.
So you want me to not give Brickhouse accolades? I was
Just do
there.
that. But don't be like, if you wasn't there, you know. If you wasn't there, you was where you was. But we did
Well,
have fun.
If you wasn't there, you missed out on a wonderful luncheon, a wonderful party. Can I say that?
Go ahead.
I mean,
I can't
dang.
stop you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. Like,
It was that.
the luncheon was amazing.
It was really good.
Wait, cause okay, yeah, I did a little bit of OCD. We gotta start with Friday. I know you.
I don't know nothing about
I know,
Friday.
but I gotta throw it in. Then I'll let you
Okay.
take it. Then I'm gonna throw
You
the
didn't
ball
fire
back
it
to you.
Huh?
You didn't come.
Then I'm gonna throw the ball
No,
back to
I
you.
was at
Then you
home.
can go. Okay. But Friday.
I heard about Friday.
So I'll check.
Wait a minute. First, I honestly. Okay, so this was Daryl's 50th birthday party.
I can't wait till you. I'm gonna
I
emphasize
got
that.
some time.
But you know what,
I got
though?
some time.
I didn't even know you were 50.
Yeah.
I thought you were like 75.
Oh my God.
I'm
At
just
least
playing.
say something that somebody
Oh,
might
realistic.
believe.
I'm just playing, but
You
nah.
just mad because I look younger than you.
No, you look really nice for 50.
Thank you.
You do. I'm
Does
being.
it sound old to you? Kinda.
Yeah, it kind of do.
It used to scare me when I was young
Dang,
and like
50 years old.
I ain't never felt better.
Ooh.
I didn't feel this good when I was
I'm
25.
at the peak of my life, though. Honestly.
I'm serious. I did not. I was worse when I was 25 than I am now.
I told my sisters that because my sister commented on one of my pictures. I was like, "Oh, you really?" She was like, "Oh, it's so pretty." I was like, "No, you really just seeing me live life for the first time, because it's like a high."
I think that's what it is.
That's beautiful.
When you kind of get it, a little bit of it figured out.
Yeah, and now you can just kind of coast a little bit.
Yeah.
You don't gotta drive as hard.
I wouldn't want to be 25 with the way the world is now.
Nah, I remember when I was 25 and it wasn't, peaches and cream.
I wasn't having no fun at 25, I'm telling you.
Let me see. Did
I was, but it was stupid fun.
I thought I was, but I'm really having fun now.
That's wonderful.
So Friday.
You ain't got but a few more years solo.
We gotta give.
I got more
We
than a
have
few.
to give Nakia a shout out though. That
Who's Nakia?
girl did that building, and it looked like a completely different place. Because I already think Brick House.
I don't even want to see it no more without.
It was
lights
so
and chair covers.
she.
I'm gonna be like, what dump? Who would
Nakia,
clean up? Somebody
you
clean
did
up.
that. And if anybody needs a decorator to decorate for a special event, you just got to give her some time. But she is going to have it laid out. So
Oh yeah.
major shout out. Because it looked like we had some people from LA come in and just redo the whole building. She
It looked
did that.
good.
Yeah, it was nice, especially Sunday.
So that was Friday. Yes, did you see it? Or you just saw it?
I saw the pictures.
So that was Friday, and then we kicked it. We turned up a little bit. We had our Mars versus Venus, so it was just fun. And Friday night we had Shanji, Andre, Drea, and Roxy. And then what was the band? That was Intense band, wasn't it? Yeah, so we kicked it. We had a good time. DJ Romeo on the ones and twos. We had a good time. It was Royal Blue on. No, it was red. So it was Fire on Friday. So yeah, okay. Now I'm throwing you the ball. You can take it from there. Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday when I got there, first of all, the place was beautiful. So shout out to Connie who did the decorations
for the luncheon.
For the luncheon, yes. I just think that the panel was just amazing. I mean, he had amazing women up there, giving us. I guess I think there were questions that were posed, right? And they were responding to those questions, so giving us their expert advice, from their personal opinion or experiences or whatever. It was enriching. The food was great, so shout out to the chef. What else?
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Good
think,
job, X.
Thank you.
Yeah, everything
Home
was.
run. You had a home run on that one.
Yeah.
Knocked that one right out the park.
But we had a great team that helped. Everybody kind of fell in, and the staff, and we just had a.
Cause I ain't do nothing.
You showed up.
Well, you DJ.
I ain't do nothing.
Was you using the DJ? Booth?
Yeah, I
What was
started
you
the
doing?
CDs.
Yeah, he did. He
I
pushed play.
was just
He
going
pushed
live.
play. He did
I just
good.
went Facebook Live,
He did
Oh,
good.
okay.
but I ain't do nothing else.
He had to.
I didn't want to do nothing else. I wanted to make sure she had her fingerprints all over it.
It was
Not-
good.
And she did. She did. It was a wonderful outcome. Everybody looked so beautiful.
We had a great
The
turnout,
energy
too.
was great. Everybody was receptive of
You
the
have double that
information
next time.
and of the event.
I'm excited because now we have good footage and pictures and people to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And the message was important to me. Like, I really think that we are starting to really chisel at that, how important it is for us to come together as black women and work. So we have 2 projects that we're working on that's coming out of that. And the first one is we will be collecting items, toiletries and things like that to make really beautiful baskets. We're going to wrap them and take them and give them to people, the homeless people. So we're going to do that and take food. And then the other project we're working on is we're working with Miss Joy's domestic abuse home.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You can't. I'm gonna tell you.
So 2 wonderful things came out of that.
Oh, it's more than that. It's like people
I mean,
doing
I
their
know,
own little
but-
things like based on.
Well,
that.
I'm sure.
But you can't touch women when they work together.
You
I don't
can't.
know why. Women just don't get together and do stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't.
Heal the woman, heal the world.
It's like the Eastern Stars and the Heroines of Jericho. Them ladies run circles around us. They get together and they work stuff like you
that.
just can't touch women when they work
Because
together.
when women get their
Like, for real.
mindset and when we
Men
are
ain't
not
gonna do half of the
competing,
stuff y'all do.
You're not.
Not
But
at all.
But when women are not competing against each other, but they're working together, yeah, we can get some stuff done.
I kind of think that right there comes with maturity, because when I looked around the room at the luncheon, I noticed, the type of women that were there and the level of maturity that was in the room. I mean, of course you had younger people here and there, but I think that just comes with maturity too.
You're right.
The whole competing thing. Because I'm sure everybody that was in the room wasn't on the same, I guess, platform financially,
And that's okay.
Right.
And it has nothing to do with that, but everybody that was there was pretty much on the same, of one mind. The same things were important, to everybody.
They were receptive.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Saturday night.
Ooh.
You got new stuff.
You showing
New
out.
stuff.
I'm sorry.
Saturday
That's
night
okay.
was off the chain. Now, granted, we were exhausted.
Sure was.
Oh, that was a weekend.
Flipping them buildings around.
Oh my God! So
It's taking direction. Friday night
we had to
decorations. You got to take them out.
we decorate Friday, break that down Friday night.
For Saturday morning. After Saturday, you got to take all that stuff off.
Moving the
out,
building,
then you
moving
gotta
the
redo it.
Saturday evening or afternoon, y'all had to redecorate for the party.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like we did, it was red Friday, so we had to break all that red down to get ready for the luncheon. This is at 3:00 in the morning.
I don't ever want to do that no more.
That was hard, but that was the only way we could do it with Miss Pat.
I'm just saying.
I know
Gotta
that
do
was
something
hard.
different.
It was exhausting.
Next time, I'm going to go on vacation after my party.
Yeah. You
Taking
need a
off
vacation
before
after that,
and then doing that, and I'm tired all over
you don't
again.
you don't feel like you rested. Because I didn't get up on Sunday until...
I think I might take off this week, Lotus.
No, you not.
Hey, I have nothing to do with that.
No, you not.
Right.
I was tired, boss.
It's Marlo's birthday. I'm going to need a few hours on Friday.
Oh.
My sister.
She coming up?
No, she here. I'm going out there to hang out. We're just going to have a girl's day at home with her.
All right, Marlo. Happy birthday.
Well, happy early birthday, Marlo.
Who we got? Chandra, Wilma Blacknall, Marvina Woods.
Y'all share. Tell other
Some
people
lady
to watch.
named
Tune
Solar.
in.
Some lady named Solar.
All right. So what else? Anything else
Who
over
that?
the weekend? That was enough.
I know I had a blast. I ain't
Oh,
gonna
then
lie.
we went to dinner Sunday for your birthday.
Well, yes, we did.
Y'all did?
But,
Yes, we did.
Yeah, but Saturday,
Look at old Dave watching.
I partied so hard on Saturday
Dave.
You
night
did?
at your birthday party.
Oh, yeah. You getting it in.
I partied hard.
I barely moved. I stayed up, and that was the first time I stayed in the booth and just sat down. I moved
Yeah.
around a little bit Saturday night. For the most part, phew.
Yeah, I toned it down. They had me clowning Friday.
Yeah.
But
I was
I did kind of like the way
I was
got
singing
it.
live, dancing live,
Oh, he kicked it after the
everything.
club
I was
closed.
like, the next day, I was like, what did you do? You remember and set it off when her brother got killed? She's like, what have you done? That's
how
what
you
I was
said
saying.
it.
What have you done?
You kicked
What
it without being stuffy. And then he told me, he said, X, you better not call me
I
up
said,
to
don't
the
you
front."
call me up. Don't you do that.
I said, okay.
Why?
Yeah, I'm like,
And she did it anyway.
no, I didn't.
You
No, I
did.
didn't.
She kind of did it.
She said,
She did.
well, I don't have the authority to
I know.
call him up. Can somebody in the family?
Yes, she kind of put it out
I
there.
said-
But I didn't
Yeah.
call him up. I did not say, gee, come to the front.
But you set this. You planted the seed. That's what you did. sis.
Well, how you mad at somebody forget what
Slick.
they want and stay out of trouble?
At the same time, but you used to do that when you was a little girl, huh?
Nah, but I learned it now, though. All right, y'all. So that was our weekend. I think it was fabulous. It goes down in the books for me.
It was the best 10 days of my life from the time from that Sunday to however long.
Really?
Best 7 days, I guess.
And then you just, Miss Pat just left, so.
Just dropped her off.
We had lunch today.
Bye, Miss Pat.
It was wonderful, too. She just schooled me, man. It was almost like she was trying to tell me everything she could in them 2 hours. And then told me she was going to send me a bunch of links with a whole bunch of assignments.
She
So you
non-stop,
gotta-
man.
So you got to study.
Non-stop.
She non-stop. She
Yeah.
had me. She came in last night and opened up that History of Black Dallas book.
Oh, she brought it so I could see it.
That's a code in that book there.
Yeah.
I got to get that.
Yeah.
Like, it's got some stuff in there you just flat out would not believe
I gotta
when it
have
comes to
one.
Dallas.
How do we get that?
You gotta order it. You gotta order it. Like, you just wouldn't believe the stuff that's the history of Dallas.
Why people don't know about that book though?
I don't know,
That's like
but
really.
that book is it's got some stuff in there about Dallas that make you say, "Wow, is that what we trying to do?" All right, what we got? What y'all got coming up?
So I'm not gonna do hers. Shout out to Shane. We really want to help build. He has this fabulous company. Is that his company?
Yeah.
Okay, and just connecting black-owned businesses and the community to the business. So the boards that you see, the ad boards that you see inside of Brick House and it's all over DFW, y'all really want to take advantage of marketing your business in places like that, because that's how we spread. That's how we grow. We have to on purpose look for
Get your name out there.
get it out
please.
there. Don't take that for granted. So we can get you more information if you're interested in that. Just drop us a message, and we'll connect you. You can either drop your message on the BH Lounge Arlington page or HighVibe. Either way, we'll connect you to him because I don't know his website, all of that offhand. All right, you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
You ready?
You talking to me? I am ready.
I got MLK music for everybody. Is that cool?
Let's go.
Cool. Let's
All right,
do
let me
this.
find you a solo. All right, here we go.
Mitchell Hand. Rika.
How did we prepare if you ask me a question
There was a man who had a dream. His name was Martin Luther King. Martin
Ain't no guessing on this.
Luther King.
We just got MLK music.
Ain't no guessing.
Luther
And this is about her speed.
Martin Luther
Since she teach kids,
His name was Martin
this is about all you can handle.
Okay.
If you didn't know before after Saturday, you ought to know she know how to turn up.
It's gonna be a minute before I do that again.
Had a dream of peace and
You
harmony.
was all over the place. What you got, Solar?
All right, so hello. I want to talk about Dorothy Height. She primarily worked for women's rights and civil. She was like a civil rights activist. She primarily focused on women's rights, black women primarily, and she was an activist. She focused on ways of how like sexism and racism was linked and caused like hardship for black women.
Right.
She helped organize the 1963 March on Washington, where Dr. King delivered his I Have a Dream speech, and she was the only black woman sitting on the panel at that time.
She was powerful.
She had to be
Yeah,
bad.
she was. But I think during that time, they didn't like carve out time for her to speak, so the panel was predominantly male. But she was the only black woman that was.
So she was
seated.
there, but she couldn't really talk.
Yeah, I don't think she really like spoke or said any words or whatever. But she was instrumental in the YMCA's integration efforts, and she acted as the first director of its Center for Racial Justice. She co-founded the National Women's Political Caucus, and she served on the board of several national civic organizations, including the sorority Delta Sigma Theta. And she also was the president of the National Council of Negro Women for 40 years.
Negro women.
Yeah, I know. I hate
You
that word
almost
Negro.
said nigga women.
No, I didn't. I said
You was
Negro.
close.
But she received the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1994, and she is an Aries. She was born March the 24th, so she just had a birthday.
That was good.
However, she transitioned in April 20th of 2010. So, big ups to Dorothy Height.
Dorothy L. Height.
Yeah,
So you gonna put that information on our page?
Yes, I'll put it on the page. She has done awesome things, and like I said, women of that time, because she was born in 1912, and I said this before, it's amazing, not just women but people of that time, how much they do. It makes me think about like, man, was your whole life literally dedicated to this? How did you have time for yourself, your family? You know, like her whole life.
I would say people don't realize how much time they have in a day. Because think about it. Her 24 hours ain't no different than
our
ours.
24. It's just how you
It's just
use
what
it.
you do in that 24. You want to sit around watch TV for 5 hours?
Right.
You want to sit in traffic? I mean, I know some people can't help that, but
Yeah.
the same 24 hours. And even today, we can reach 1 million people with a touch of a
Doing this,
button.
right.
So we
you
can
would think it's
maximize
easier.
our time.
It would be
Right.
easier, but
Yeah.
people don't utilize their time
But she
properly.
dedicated her whole life to, racial inequality and women's rights.
Yeah. Some
It's,
people are just like that, man. I guarantee you, it's a whole lot of people who have that calling. They just don't answer the call.
You think so? Because
Yes.
if the calling, I feel like if
Yes.
the calling is there, you're almost compelled.
You gotta answer it, but
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
everybody
Yeah.
doesn't, though.
A lot
There's
of people
so
don't
many,
answer.
There are so many people who are great that just don't pull it out.
Know what they supposed to be
Yeah.
doing and just never do it.
Yeah.
And then it hits them again.
Sometimes
Man, I
it's
know I'm
lazy,
supposed to be
or
doing more than
sometimes
this, and then they just never do it.
Sometimes it's fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot.
Our biggest problem, I don't know if it's the biggest, but one of the biggest issues I think is we are so afraid of what somebody might say,
Oh.
or if we fail, or we, you know what I'm saying? It's so many people who are just waiting to pull you down and
Yes.
tell you what you can. A lot of our people are afraid to look bad.
Yeah.
So therefore, we're afraid to do things because
It's
we
a
may
lot of-
fail. We
It's
may
a lot of fear.
Yeah, but
I don't
well,
care about failing, looking bad. I don't care. Like, I just realize I'm gonna do what I need to do, and
I think that's the biggest thing
you can
that I took
laugh,
away
you can
from,
support. Either way, I don't care.
I think that's the biggest thing that I took away from my conversation with Miss Patty. She said, you literally have to not care. Like, you cannot not be who you are because of somebody else.
Yep.
She said you have a responsibility to
Yeah.
to God, you have a responsibility to the community, to your people, to be who you are supposed to be. It don't have nothing to do with nobody else. She said, I don't care what nobody.
I know. Did you hear her on the panel? She was just
literally
straight like
doesn't.
that. Straight like that.
I was like, whoa.
But she has such a beautiful spirit. She just inviting to be around,
She is.
So if somebody probably caught her in that moment, I think she had made like she implemented like a little scenario, and she was like, okay, I am, and something to that effect. Like I just think that she's a joy to be around.
Yeah, she is.
Just
She's
pleasant.
cool. I'm telling you, she's cool.
But
Yes.
yeah, I guess you do have to get in that mindset to where you really just don't care what other people
I'm
think.
learning, and that's
and what
hard.
other people
Black
are
folks,
doing.
do not care what your friends, family,
Nobody.
thinks. You got something to do, just do it. If you fail, you fail.
But we need
just
to
do
teach-
something else.
And
Just
we
keep
need to teach our
too
children
many
that.
too many people, too many black folks are waiting for the others to fail, so they they hate on them, they
Yeah.
pull against
Yeah.
them. Man, forget it.
And they wanna
It's
do
time
what's
out for that.
accepted.
Just do
Yeah.
you.
Do you.
Do not care what nobody else
That's
thinks.
real.
As long as you ain't hurting nobody in the process, just keep doing you.
But that's kind of difficult for people who are sensitive to.
You got to
other
get over
people's
yourself.
feelings. You do. You
got
have
to get over
that.
yourself and
Yeah.
them.
You're right. Yeah.
Just that.
I
simple.
wish there was like some rules or some guidelines that you can follow, like on how to do that. Because simply saying like just don't care about people, like okay,
That's really
you know
really
what I
it.
mean? Yeah.
Just like the Nike, just do it. Sometimes you just got to do it. You got to quit talking and say,
Is that easy for you to not care?
"Oh man, I've been not caring my whole life." I'm like
Like what?
my
never
whole
cared.
life.
Yeah.
Like
Like
really.
literally for real, it just don't bother you.
You know how much stuff I've done? And how
And it
many
just
times I
don't-
done failed and I ain't cared?
No, I ain't talking about. I'm not talking
No,
about
just-
failing.
What you talking about?
Because I don't have no problem with that. Like I'm gonna try it, even if I fail. Then, because I feel like you don't really fail if you actually start and finish your project.
Yeah.
Now you can get it better, you can perfect it. It may not turn out the way you want it, but I'm talking about just like care what people think as far as not the failure, but you know how some people really just want to keep you inside your box.
They judge you, or they say, "Oh my gosh, she's so rude," or "Why is she doing that?" or "Why is she wearing it?" or "Why is she with
Just
that
period.
person?"
Just
or
period.
or
Just-
not just she, but he. Just they critique you and ask all these questions, and if you're not fitting
But just
this
think
mold or
about
this
think
standard,
about this though. How would anything get done if everybody
cared that dang on much.
cared?
Well,
How would anything get done?
Well, I
Because
kinda
there's
care.
always gonna people
I agree with
always
that.
gonna be people who say, Well, why you doing that? That ain't gonna work. That's crazy. Or you gonna look stupid. Or I wouldn't do it. You ain't got the time. It's all. No, we would not have a TV,
Nothing.
a remote control, a microphone, lights, if people thought like that.
I agree. I just don't know how to not care. I mean, I agree that that's where you have to be. I just don't know how to be that.
If you got a project or a goal or a calling, you got to be able to go into that zone and say, this is my focus.
By any means necessary.
Either you with me or you against me.
Yeah, that's
if
it.
you with me,
let's go.
We can roll. If you against me, sit over there and shut up.
Right.
Because we got stuff to do. Like really,
to
like
do.
if you just want to talk about how this ain't gonna work, I don't need to talk to you.
Bye, Felicia.
Right.
It sounds simple, and it kind of is simple, but you got to get there if that's not your personality.
And that's why people, I guess, because I see it on Facebook all the time, people say, I'm just going to do me. I'm doing me. I'm living my best life. I'm, da-da-da-da-da. Like, at first, I thought it was kind of like...
selfish attitude?
Not really selfish, but you're just trying to be some kind of way. Like, you just being messy or whatever. Like, what you mean? You just doing you. Like, don't nobody care. Or maybe people do care. But I understand those phrases now. Like, I'm living my best life. Because, like, what does that mean, really? Like, what is your best life?
I feel like I'm living my best life.
And I know
now.
your best life may be different from my best life. And, but I'm just saying, like, at first I was like, what is that? Like, what does that mean? And I guess those are words of empowerment.
Words of empowerment.
Yeah.
Do what you need to do. Don't worry about what other people think.
Yeah.
You ain't hurting nobody in the process. Keep rolling.
Right. And everybody don't have to understand and agree.
You ready, Lotus?
I'm ready.
Let's
got you some music.
Oh, it's a quote that we're going to have to figure out who said it. Or figure out the meaning.
It ain't gonna be.
Can we figure out the meaning?
Got Lotus. I stepped up a little bit for Lotus. Y'all don't. I know you don't remember this song. Look at her trying to peek. You don't remember that. Lotus might remember. I think this came out in the 80s or something. Maybe 90s.
I can remember the beat. I'm trying to. Oh yeah. That's Houdini.
That was Houdini. That's Curtis Blow. That's Millie Mill, Grandmaster Millie Mill.
I know those names, but
Fat
I know
Boys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Run DMC.
Yeah, I remember the.
That's Rap Press Band.
Send me that song. That's a cool one from that song.
There'll be a debate.
Y'all ready?
Classic.
That was good.
Stacy Lattisaw in the house.
Them the old names we ain't heard in a minute.
In a long, long time.
All right. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that.
I ain't gonna get that right.
We had this before, didn't we?
Then you should be able to get it.
I ain't gonna be able to get it.
I mean, dang, that's not the...
You the one saying we had it, so you...
Because I don't think...
I was just asking
I don't
a
think
question.
love can drive out hate. That's why I ain't gonna get it.
And you don't think light can drive out darkness?
I think that. But I think only hate can...
It sounds like it's just telling you to, like, do good.
I think only hate and a fight. I think a fight and a bullet and a stick and a bat can drive out hate.
Eye for an eye. That's what you're saying. Eye for an eye.
What you think, Solo?
It sounds like it's
Martin Luther
saying-
King. Now that's my guess.
Oh, we gotta
She ain't
guess.
gonna trick
We
me
don't
this
have to-
time.
wait
Martin
a
Luther
minute.
King.
We got to figure out who said it.
Yes.
Yeah, this is what we always do.
Oh, I'm gonna go with Martin Luther King too.
Okay, so here's another one.
She tried to trick us.
If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward, which is what we really just talked about.
I'm going. You want me to go first?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say Dr. King.
I'm gonna say MLK again.
MLK.
Hey.
MLK.
She ain't getting us today.
All right.
We ain't gonna overthink
That's
it.
what we talking about tonight.
We ain't gonna
No, don't
overthink
try to
it.
minimize our.
Well, it is.
Our intelligence.
That was
Right.
kind of easy. I mean, Dr. King is the love doctor.
He didn't end up the love doctor.
Yeah.
So
He ended up saying, these folks is crazier than I thought. They ain't stopped lynching no matter what I say.
back to segregation.
What did he say? I feel that I'm leading my people into something. He had this whole quote.
He had a real turn that don't nobody really want to. They mainstream don't want to acknowledge that.
Yeah, they don't.
I got my fly glasses. Where you at? You got your glasses?
She got some glasses on.
I have on glasses.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey, throwing shade party at Brick House Lounge on Saturday, April 21st. Get your shades and come and hang with us.
Nice.
It's my little commercial.
I always have to have the flyest music. Since I am the one picking it,
You crazy.
wouldn't make sense, right?
It's only right.
And it's crazy.
Even the state of Mississippi,
That's one of them stepper songs.
That's the I Have a Dream Steppers mix.
That's hot for real.
With the heat of oppression, be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream.
To see them dancing to this,
I was just about to say, I can see Gino getting it.
One day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
I have a dream that I'm gonna learn how to step one day and tear it up.
You ain't gonna do it.
Well, do it then.
It was all a
He gonna probably tear it up in his living room.
I got MLK petty trivia.
Oh my God.
It ain't petty, it's just trivia.
Oh, okay. Let's
Wait,
go.
okay.
You got them glasses Saturday, didn't you? Did you get them Saturday? Yeah, they kind of fly. I wasn't gonna tell you, but they
always tell you when
just
you fly.
overcame me. Them pretty fly right there.
I always
They
tell
look
you when
nice.
you
And your
fly.
little
He a
Malcolm X
hater.
glass. Can you put your hands on your eyes so they look like shades?
And you
That's what
did
I'm trying
it?
to say.
So they'll look like shades, please.
Don't let him talk.
I'm
You doing
good.
it.
How
Polish.
old would MLK be today
Oh,
if he had
89.
lived?
Ooh, I
What's
don't
your
know.
guess?
No.
You said 89?
Mhm.
What's your guess? That's your final answer?
Mhm.
Huh? What you say?
I gotta think about this. He would be. Yeah, I think he'll be
Either
about.
89
I think
or
he'll be about
99.
85.
85?
Yeah, somewhere between.
89 is correct. He died when he was 39.
Mm-hmm.
He shot.
I figured he was about 35.
Yeah, he was,
Yeah,
but
okay.
he was 39.
Because remember he said, I may not get to the mountaintop with you.
And
that
he
was when he was 39. And he died.
named
Okay.
two people who was with him that day when he got shot.
Go ahead.
I don't know. Yeah, this is a real trivia.
Jesse Jackson.
That's one.
And, I got his name on the tip of my tongue.
It was his right hand man.
Ralph Albert.
Yes, Ralph Albert.
Yes.
Y'all good with names. Continue.
I'm beginning to think that if you don't go and research something for your segment, that you ain't got no Black History facts in
Oh
your
my
head.
God.
Okay.
I'm beginning to think
I'll
that.
take that
Oh my God. Don't take that.
What time of day was he
for now.
shot? I'll give you 10 minutes either way.
Dang, that's the only
Oh,
grace
we
we get.
wait a
is
minute.
10
We gotta have
minutes?
like the exact time.
There is an exact time when he was shot.
I don't know that. Let me try to narrow it down some more.
7 in the morning, 9:15 at night.
No, it was clearly in the daytime.
It was morning because he was getting ready to go to his speaking engagement. So it was early morning.
I don't know if it was early morning. He was.
I'm gonna go with early morning.
Early morning. The early morning don't tell me nothing.
Well, that's all I got.
What's early morning? Give me a
I
time.
can give you a time frame. Like, I think it was like noon, little afternoon.
Little afternoon.
I'm gonna say between 7 and 9 a.m.
A.M. Wrong. Not even close. Neither one of you.
What was
He
it?
was shot at 6 p.m. 6:01. Right in that time frame. He was
Before-
going to speak. And
Did
Oh,
you?
it was the evening and speaking
was-
engagement.
Did you
Okay.
research this?
yes, I ain't making it up.
Okay.
Go look it up. You don't believe me? I did my research.
Come on, give us another one.
What was the name of the hotel you shot at, Solo?
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know the name of the hotel.
Lotus.
Yes, I do know. I'm drawing a blank, but
Oh my goodness.
I know. I
We
know.
are auditioning for 2 new members, a host
No, we're not, because we don't know.
Next week,
MLK
Black of
Flex.
the Berry hosts.
I know it was in
Auditions.
I know it was in
It was in Memphis. I know that.
It was
I
the
didn't ask you.
Lorraine
I
Hotel.
The Lorraine.
I told you, just
Wow.
give me a second.
I knew where
Dang.
it was.
I
Wow.
told you, give me a second.
I'm embarrassed, but thank you, lady.
Oh, well.
What you? I missed one question.
I don't care about him being embarrassed.
So y'all
want to
do? Y'all want to do a shout out?
Do some shout outs.
Sin Fox, Sherilyn Barry, Debbie Curtis, Paul Baxter, Tammy Harrington, Tabitha Harris, Carolyn Jones, Melissa
Shout out.
Cadeno, Shanae, Reginald Durley, Lerone Armstrong, Tashara Jordan, Cedric Young,
Shout out.
the Jolie Rashawn,
The Jolie
Willard
Rashawn.
Smith,
Hey,
Tashara
Willard.
Jordan, Kimberly Grant, Roderick Tyner, my classmate, Michelle Day,
Hey,
Chandra
classmate.
Craddock was watching again.
What
Kim
up,
Harold
Chandra?
Lee, Anthony Upshaw,
Hey,
Ryan C.
Sandra.
Alexander, that's my nephew. C is in the house, Cornell,
Hey, see.
David Wilson, Latrika Thornton. Hope I got your name right. Thank y'all for tuning in.
C might be on the show with us
Greg
next week.
Clark
Checking
and
his
Teresa
schedule.
Sneed, thank y'all for joining us.
Who you got?
Greg Clark and Teresa Sneed.
Okay.
Hey, I got Oh no, I'm not ready yet. We ready to go in the current events?
We can.
Okay.
What was your
Nah,
first
mine
one?
is intro.
Oh, okay.
Have
The intro to
Travis
the topic.
intro
Ingram.
to the top.
Okay.
Oh, and
And I
Jarvis
got a-
Davis Sr., what's up, cuz? All right.
What's
I'm
up,
sorry.
everybody? Thank you for
Thank y'all
tuning
for tuning
in to
in.
the Black Eye, the Berry.
The Black of the
So-
Berry.
Current events. What has happened? Lotus, what was I telling you about that we need to talk about?
Well, you wanted to talk about that
The Zimmerman.
What
Mark
happened with him?
Zimmerman.
What happened with him?
Facebook.
What happened?
Nothing happened. You was just talking about it with the whole on trial and all that kind of stuff.
Mark Zimmerman? Who is Mark
No,
Zimmerman?
not Mark Zimmerman. What's his name?
What's his name?
Mark
Not
Zimmerman killed Trayvon Martin. I ain't talking about him.
Oh, who the government chewed out? Or they
The
got on to
Facebook
him?
guy. What's his name?
Oh, Mark Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg.
Oh, I didn't really want to talk about that, but yeah,
But
they drilled him today
Well, they
about
should
his
have.
involvement in letting the Russians come in and get some Facebook pages and
That you wanted to talk about. You sent us that link for that boy put that poetry down about education.
oh yeah.
That was hot. Bill Cosby.
Oh, but he
What
also
else?
sent us that link about
Bill Cosby went to court,
Yeah, I saw that. And the woman
and who was the lady's name who was on the show, who was streaking outside the courthouse? She was
Oh my goodness.
naked. I know it was from the waist
Yes, she
up,
was.
and she had the names of all of his accusers on her body.
Nicole Rochelle.
So what did she
Former
ever
Cosby
play?
Show star. She wasn't no star. She was.
She was
like,
just on it.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out why was she.
I don't know.
Did she have something
It really
against
kind of
Bill?
made me feel like, why is she lashing out like that? What does she know?
I mean, I was just thinking, like, considering the nature of the, I guess, investigation or the pleading or whatever, like, why would she choose that way to,
That's what I-
you know,
That was
Wow.
very extreme.
yeah.
And there are pictures of her nude
Yeah.
running, and the cops after her
Yeah.
with names
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
written
like,
on her body.
Just, this is a sexual assault case?
Yeah, that was pretty extreme.
Yeah.
So what would make her run around nude? If it's, I don't get it.
It draws more attention, gets more press.
First of all, you got to be kind of off to do that, and
You
you really got to be a
Well,
little
Well,
bit
did
off.
nobody say that when Erica Badu was
A whole bunch of people
Erica
said
Badu
something.
was shooting a video. Erica
so
Badu
she
is
gets
like,
a pass for being nude in public?
no, I'm saying Erica Badu said, I'm going to shoot a video, and I'm going to walk down the street nude for my video.
She
This
was making
lady-
a statement too.
this
Well, they
lady-
both was making a
Okay,
statement,
yeah,
though.
I don't see.
I agree.
I don't see the difference.
I think it's a big difference.
How?
What is
Because
what?
if I want to do a video and I want to be nude, I ain't really hurting nobody. It's my video. It's my idea
Oh,
for
so
my
you saying
video.
because she was almost like attacking Bill
She
Cosby.
did this to bring attention to
Yeah, I
him.
see what
It was
you're saying.
his court date. It was media out there reporting on him.
So you saying
She
she's
interrupted
hurting him?
his. Oh, I think she did hurt him.
That's a
Well,
major statement. For
I don't
her
think
to-
she
Well,
hurt
but
him,
she-
but I think she
She made a
just looked
statement.
stupid doing it.
Well,
I just don't see the difference between the two.
If it was her trial, I get it. But why you get naked and putting his accusers on your body and interrupting his trial?
Unless he
and
did
his,
something to her.
Yeah, but I don't think so.
I don't either, because she was a child. Nobody has ever said
I just think she wanted some attention.
I think that she's passionate about what's going on, and that's the way, like, women.
Do y'all?
Yeah, because women did some extreme, like even with the bra.
But do y'all know that he's the only one that got a felony charge? From all of the people who've been accusing these people of sexually, he's the only one.
I'm not surprised.
So now, how does that make you?
I'm not surprised at all.
Nobody else has been charged. I mean, I'm talking about in the Me Too movement. The trainer from Michigan State, he's molesting girls, little girls. That's the difference. We're talking about these grown women who said, I was sexually assaulted. He's the only one who's been charged.
I didn't know that.
With
Is
a
that what
felony.
you were talking about, though, when you said, what is it that you want to talk about?
No.
Well,
I
and
don't
then
know.
there's also that girl who was saying that the guy from Sacramento who got shot by the police, that he didn't
That's
like
what I wanted to
black
talk
women.
about.
Oh, that one. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Well,
So what's his name? Stephon Clark?
Stephon Clark, yeah.
So he was the one who got shot in his backyard. Cop shot him in his backyard. He was trying to get in. He was coming in. It was late. They usually go through the back door. He was knocking on the window trying to get his grandfather's attention, trying to get in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess somebody called, and the cops came and shot him 20-something times.
That's ridiculous.
And he didn't have a gun. But
He
had a cell phone?
Yeah, he had a phone.
so everybody went out and started to, rally, loot, march, whatever. Then a little while after, some tweets came out. Like, his girlfriend is Asian. Some tweets came out of him saying he don't want nothing black. No black baby, no black woman.
I'm already black.
So
And his
now
grandma,
people
who
are
he lived
saying,
with, is black.
so what do you think, Solar? Does that change your support for him? Because he said he could care less about black women, didn't want no black woman, no black baby, nothing black.
No, it doesn't. I just feel like the fact of the matter is that he was gunned down by police officers. Trigger happy police officers or scared police. I don't know, but he was gunned down.
Scared, yeah, right.
And there has been in the media men being killed or by police officers. So I think that we need to stick to what's happening. And we need to band together and support that, regardless of however he felt about women. I honestly, it's neither here nor there, but to be honest, like, I don't even think that's really true, because his grandmother is black, and he lives with
I don't mean nothing.
he loves her.
Yeah, it was verified.
Well,
And his Asian girlfriend was like, she was talking a little too much. But
I don't think.
What you think, Lois?
I don't think we shouldn't support him.
what you
I
think?
think that is equivalent to when there's a crime, an officer that kills a black person, and then they want to bring up black on black crime. It just ain't got nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
It just don't have nothing to do with it. Like, I don't think that justifies killing this boy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know.
it's
That's not the question.
It's the lack of support. Like, should black
Let
women
me
support?
let me rephrase the question, because
Okay.
that's not the question. Because we know him being gunned down
It
was
was wrong.
wrong. The question is, does he still get your full support?
Yes, he does.
Yes.
Because he's still, I'm a mama. And
Right.
period. Like, if my son, I don't even want to speak that.
No, don't say that.
Anybody other than a black queen. But he would still be my son. You know what I'm saying? So I just can't, that's apples to oranges to me. One don't have nothing to do with the other. Yeah, 1,000% support. Yep. What you think?
You want me to speak? I
I
don't
do, for real.
speak
I
as
wanna
a.
know. I just want to know what your...
So I guess I would have to reverse the situation if I'm going to answer that question. I'm a black man. Let's say, okay, he was a black female, and she dated an Asian guy, and she said, I hate black men. Black men can't do nothing for me. I don't want nothing black, blah, 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 blah.
Ooh, them some strong words.
If I'm just saying,
I
that's
know,
what
I
he
know.
said.
For you
That's
to
what
be
he said
black.
about black women.
For you to come from a black woman or a black
If
man.
I was painting, if I was making a picket sign, I would. As soon as I heard that, I would took my brush, threw it in trash, cut up the poster board, and said, "I ain't going to no rally for her."
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
it's
G.
it's sad what happened, and that would be all I would say.
Wow.
Yeah,
G.
I would say that is so sad that
But
they
you wouldn't.
I wouldn't lift another
I
nothing.
believe that too.
That's
I believe
true.
that too.
Wow.
That's
yeah,
true.
see, and I just think that it's just bigger than that. You know what I'm saying?
It is bigger than that, but that ain't the battle I'm about to fight. I'll say, well, let me find somebody who did care about us and who did
Yeah.
respect
I
us,
can't-
and
I
I will
can't.
fight for them. Y'all
What?
can have
How
that
did you
one.
think we was gonna react?
I thought one of y'all would have said,
Which one?
You.
You thought I'd be like, nah.
I thought you'd be like, nah, you ain't gonna get, like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't saying
But you just not finna get all that support.
not feel sorry for the person being gunned down by the cops. That ain't what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not getting my support.
Yeah,
Like,
see.
let me-
I'm thinking of it, but see, I'm stuck in the mindset of
I'm just saying my energy would automatically go to somebody else
who,
who deserves it more.
I don't know. I don't think you can put like that's a life.
because I'm
That's a
thinking
human
of his
life.
mama, his grandmama, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking of the hole that was left in his family.
So
he
Debbie's
was
saying
young
if you
and
take race
immature.
out of it, he was still a human being that was shot for no reason.
You finna be on your own. with
Yes,
this one.
Debbie, absolutely right. He was.
But
He is not getting my energy after knowing that he did not care nothing about
And
black
he
women.
was young, so you know what I'm saying. People
I'm
are
just saying,
ignorant. You
that's
know?
how old was he?
That's my
He was
opinion.
in his 20s, like his early 20s.
He was just probably being dumb, trying to impress a little Asian.
Probably
girl.
had some bad
It's
experiences.
enough. It's enough other cases for me to say, all right, you ain't getting nothing else out of me. Let me focus my energy
somewhere else.
on
I get
somebody else.
it, but I just
That's all I'm saying.
But it ain't really about him as an individual. This is just like each and every case. It's a build up. You know what I mean? So all those cases go in the same pot because this is what, like, you're killing black men for no reason.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So something needs to change in the justice system. So he.
Oh yeah, but that's not my questions. But yeah,
I
I
know that's
understand.
not your question, but what I'm saying is, he is just not that one person. Like, oh, I'm not. It's for all. It's for black men living and the black men that have been slain.
Let me ask you another question. Let me rephrase this real quick. Let's say your daughter was killed by a white officer. No, let's say a black officer. A black officer. That black officer went to jail, and a white officer killed him while he was a prisoner. You protesting?
hell no. He killed my daughter. You crazy?
He still,
Like, what?
he's still.
Hell no, I'm not protesting that.
Let's say
You should have used.
Let's say before he went to jail. Let's say he molested her. Let's say.
Oh my God, G!
I'm
You
trying.
gotta make up fictional characters. It can't be.
No, this is the reality of it. Let's
Okay,
see
come
how
on.
human you really are. Let's say he molested her. He was out on bond. He was getting ready to go to trial. A white cop guns him down before he gets to trial.
Oh well.
See what I mean?
You
So
said-
it just depends.
Oh, there's a line.
Everybody has a line. That's my
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Everybody has a line to how far they're willing to
And
go.
see, and I want to be
But
able
you
to take
made
that.
that about my child, though.
Yeah.
Like, what else do you think I'm gonna say?
And
You
like,
said I have a black son, so I still. So it just depends on circumstance. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna tell you what I won't do for Stephon Clark. I won't put no money in his GoFundMe account if he had one. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't do that.
Would you have done it before?
Nah, I probably wouldn't.
Well, then it don't matter.
probably
You would have done it anyway.
I probably wouldn't. But you know what I'm saying? If that was an option and I was feeling generous, I definitely wouldn't feel generous
Right now.
after hearing
So
that.
even if what you saying is like if you were feeling like that, you would find a different GoFundMe to put it in
Yeah.
if you felt like you wanted to
Yeah,
support the cause.
exactly.
So there is a.
But-
so you do feel a little something.
Oh heck, well when you bring it like that, of course, like ain't no.
And I feel like all sex offenders should probably die anyway. Like I don't see how you rehabilitate from that.
I don't think you can.
I don't think
know.
you can.
But
Shout out to Felicia watching with us, Don Brown, Kimberly Lindsay, Joseph, Rod Hill, Vonda. Vonda always be supporting.
Mikado, Shatanda,
Aubrey,
Tandon,
Terrell,
Eve
Frank.
Wooden, Sheila Lassiter, Paulette Renee Ward is my cousin.
look, Frank said that was a terrible example, G.
Excellent example.
Oh,
If,
it
if
was-
Frank if Frank disagrees, I know it was a good example.
No.
If he disagrees, I
What
know.
y'all think? Y'all call in and tell us your opinion. 972-882-6146.
Yeah, that.
My only point was like that was my line. Everybody's got a different line that you can't cross. That was mine. Like,
Yeah,
really, dude?
yeah.
I hate you. I don't wish death on anybody. But I'm just gonna support you from afar.
It just makes you look ignorant when you diss.
Your own people like
Yes.
that. That is so.
I mean,
Was
what does
no
that
reason
say
for
about
him-
your mama.
I mean, the lady who who went live and posed the question, she was just her I think her point was how long do we have to just unconditionally love
Love and support.
you know,
Support.
even
Oh my
even the
God.
ones who are just slapping us and spitting in our face, not literally, but you know, do we
Yeah.
just have to continuously be
I feel that though. I feel like that as a black woman. I do. Like I know that I'm going to because it's just how I'm cut. But I do get tired of that. And that's why we named the event this weekend. It's our time because I want to see men stepping up and supporting black women like we've done.
Mm-hmm.
We have been the backbone for real. Like we have forgave and look over and stand by your man and stand by your family and stand. We've done all of that. Now I feel like it's our turn.
Yeah.
I want some support now.
Yeah, I feel you.
All right,
It's definitely
y'all.
necessary.
So here go another current event.
what you got?
They raided.
Uh-oh.
It's so funny.
Uh-oh.
They raided the Donald Trump's personal attorney's house, hotel, and office.
Really?
You didn't hear about that?
No.
Oh,
Yes.
all at one time. It was a no-knock raid. Like, I'm coming to
Kick
get.
door.
I'm coming to get this stuff before you can
Oh.
destroy it.
My question
Yes.
is, here's my question.
This is like a big reality show.
But here's my
for real.
question. Okay, Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, was questioned. He was in court
some heat.
in front of these senators being questioned about the Russians. FBI raised Trump, raised his attorney's place.
That's so
his
funny
place.
to me.
Is this all going somewhere? Because why would you even waste taxpayer money?
I think so.
I'm beginning to think it's got to be going somewhere
Oh, it's going
Yeah.
somewhere.
because I can't
That's a
see
little
them
hope.
wasting now that. I'm like, why
That's-
y'all doing that?
yeah.
So it's got to be a case being built.
They already know. They just
gotta
gotta gather
prove
the
it.
evidence.
and he
Yeah.
thinks he can just fire everybody involved and it's gonna be
Yes.
okay.
So
But I don't think so.
Did you?
yeah.
So
Thank you.
I hope this is all going
You're so
somewhere.
special. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So I'm thinking. I love that apple juice. So I'm thinking this got to be going somewhere. It's got to all be going
I
somewhere
think so.
because I can't see them doing all of that.
It's too much. Like I already think, but my concern is I just think it's going to turn into a straight up civil war. I do.
I don't think so.
Then let me tell you why I say
Explain that.
I say that because he is still very effective with his base.
Which is shrinking.
It is shrinking, but they wild, they crazy.
I don't
And
know.
I don't
I'm
think so.
concerned. Well, I hope I'm wrong.
Because and the reason I say I don't
I
think
just
so.
think they're gonna retaliate because he's already pumped them fake news. It's a witch
No.
hunt.
You know what I think? I think if anything, he's going to string the case all the way out for his full term. If anything.
Would that wouldn't? I don't think he's in control of that.
Yeah, because if they impeach
But the
him,
reason I
No,
don't,
because he can get some attorneys on it, and they can.
most attorneys ain't even touching.
he done
So
had
many attorneys have
walk
turned
away.
him
Yeah.
down. They're like, man, we don't.
Yeah,
You're
that'd be
not
the
a
end of
good
their
client.
careers.
You don't listen. We can't control you. You won't, follow our direction. But I don't think it would be a civil war only because it's not black versus white. If it were just black versus white,
What is it? White versus white?
it's just, it's probably 70-80% of the country has realized like you're an idiot and you're just bad for the
I
country.
still want to know, and I cannot for the life of me figure out how did he even get to the point where he was the representative for the Republican Party. That is so beyond I just don't get it. Like, y'all had to have known this man was always corrupt. Like, that the average person can see that Donald Trump is corrupt.
I really feel like I don't think people really felt like he was gonna win. I mean,
I
I
don't think
understand
he
like
did.
how did he even get through the
I don't
front
think-
door?
I don't think he felt like he was going to win either. But I'm saying, how did the Republican Party even agree
To
to
put
let
him
this
on the
be
ticket?
this-
because they
Money.
thought my opinion is they thought that, okay, what if he does win? We could probably get some of
we
our
have a puppet.
our programs passed and our agendas
'Cause he don't
passed
know nothing.
because he
Well,
is
then
running
they
as a
would've-
Republican.
they would've
I think he
chose the-
surprised everybody.
Who
Like,
was the black guy that was on a Republican ticket? I mean, well, he was in the beginning of the race. The black guy, the surgeon.
the Secretary of Housing, Ben Carson.
Ben Carson. If that case, Ben Carson would have probably been a better puppet. But then again, they couldn't put another black man in office.
The Republicans definitely wasn't going to put one.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be back to back like that. But I see
Yeah.
what you're saying, though.
But
Like,
he would have been easier. I
control.
think.
I think they underestimated how big of an idiot he is.
this.
That's what I think.
Yeah, because they ain't never really like they seen him on reality TV.
They never seen, and I used to watch
What
The
was that?
Apprentice.
Yeah, The Apprentice.
and I thought he was cool.
Man,
I saw no signs
Ooh.
of him being an idiot racist.
Oh, my God.
I heard about some racist
Yeah,
things he had
yeah.
done, but I
You
didn't see
couldn't
any
see it.
signs of it on the show. So I actually thought he was just
Just an idiot.
had common sense, but
No,
he
he's
doesn't.
an idiot.
Right.
But anyway, so that was my little current event. You got current event?
No.
I don't have a curtain.
Oh.
Thank you, Solar.
Thank you, Solar.
He
What am I
don't
thanking
even
you
know.
for?
He wasn't looking.
What am I thanking her for?
Because I said, do you have a current event? I was looking at her because
Oh.
yours
Oh, I didn't
was
know.
Yeah.
yours was the Stefan. Yeah. So mine
Oh.
is Trump. So you don't want to bring up one?
No.
Okay. All right.
Say, now, if I play this intro,
Uh-oh.
I gotta give a what do they call it?
Explanation.
Not an explanation, but what do they call it when they prepare you for something that may not be
Oh.
fit for children?
A disclaimer.
And a disclaimer
Here's your
on
disclaimer.
this
Yes,
video I'm
please
about
do.
to play.
Please do.
This soundbite. If you are sensitive to the N word, please mute your Facebook for the next 2 minutes.
We'll wave when you can come back on.
If you are sensitive. This is Martin Luther King.
Did you ask Frank if he wanted to come? Because he commented, but he didn't show up.
Oh, that's him. He a keyboard gangster.
Whatever.
Hey,
come to fight.
this is from the Boondocks. It was
I
Martin Luther
love
King coming
That
back
was so funny.
to see. It was like 40-some years later. So he's coming back and he's witnessing what's going on in the black community. And I'm setting it up. He's in a church and he's about to
so
speak.
funny.
So if you're sensitive to the N word, please mute your phone.
So funny.
Excuse me, brothers and sisters, please.
Now everybody's in here partying and smoking weed and
In the church.
King looked
Wait
out
on
on
the
the
rally.
people and saw
Dressed
they
in
were a great
bikinis.
leader. So he did what all great leaders do. He told them the truth.
I saw that before.
That is so funny.
He just said what I think he said.
Is this it? This is what I got all those ass whoopings for? I had a dream once. It was a dream that little black boys and little black girls would drink from the river of prosperity, freed from the thirst of oppression. But lo and behold, some 4 decades later, what have I found but a bunch of trifling, shiftless, good-for-nothing niggers? And I know some of you don't want to hear me say that word. It's the ugliest word in the English language, but that's what I see now. Niggers.
Nigga.
And you don't want to be a nigger, because niggers are living contradictions. Niggers are full of unfulfilled ambitions. Niggers wax and wane. Niggers love to complain. Niggers love to hear themselves talk but hate to explain. Niggas love being another man's judge and jury. Niggas procrastinate until it's time to worry. Niggas love to be late. Niggas hate to hurry. Black entertainment television is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Usher, Michael Jackson is not a genre of music. And now I'd like to talk about soul playing. I've seen what's around the corner. I've seen what's over the horizon. And I promise you, you niggas have nothing to celebrate. And no, I won't get there with you. I'm going to Canada.
I'm going to Canada.
so
Okay.
That is so funny.
it's sort of funny, but it's got
It's
some
kinda true. It's
may
kinda-
have some truth to it, and only the Boondocks can deliver like that.
But the Boondocks be putting
So what
it
do you
down.
think, Lotus?
I'm with Dr. King. These niggas is acting a fool. He didn't die for that.
Explain that.
Okay, so
And I know you
obviously-
don't literally.
No, I don't. So what I really, but I do feel like there probably are a lot of our leaders who are watching from the other side. Like, dang, we made so many sacrifices for y'all. Y'all don't want to go to school. You don't want to work. You don't want to, and there are reasons, psychological damage that we're dealing with. We really are. But I'm sure that a lot of them feel like if we had the opportunities that y'all have, and then just seeing the division now inside of the black community, because I think we were much more united then than we are now. So I can see that though. I do.
Solar.
Yeah, I agree, but I think that I think a wool kind of has been pulled over our eyes. Like we're not taught about who we were, in school, and I think just for the lack of education, it's kind of like, people fought for you to have a right to have better education, right? But now it's like, okay, we're going to pacify you and make you think that you're getting a better education, and then we're also going to give you these things right here to kind of distract you. And I think that's what kind of has happened. And so people
What
are
things
not
like what?
like materialistic things or music, or things that just really don't matter, things that kind of clutter your mind and have you thinking like, now we free, but not
Right.
really free. You know what I mean? So I think that people now, they just don't know. Like, they don't, like, a lot of the history, like, when you're in school, you're not being taught who you really are.
Right.
You're not being uplifted, not at home. You don't see yourself anywhere in the world, not in a positive light. So your community is where you're learning everything from, and your community hardly know anything. And I think that's where we kind of fall short at, because.
But
And
do you
that's-
think we making excuses? I feel you,
I
and I
know.
agree, but
I know,
they
and I
had
thought
less
about
than
that.
we did, and
I
they were
know.
more effective.
But it's like, but we're given things like you'll see like children with the newest Jordan. You know the newest Jordans. I don't know what they're called, but they got some red ones, some black ones. You know what I mean? And so it's like it's almost like a pacifier. Like this is what's important. You know what I'm saying? Instead of this. So
Whose fault is that?
Well, I mean, on the surface, it looks like the parents' fault. But I think underneath that, you know, somewhere along the line, somebody dropped the ball. Somewhere.
I don't know. I feel like
I don't want to make an excuse for it, but I just think that we're just not, like, we don't even think about that
I think
anymore.
all of us have access to the same things. It's just whether or not we choose to go down this road or down this road. But I have a choice as to how I'm going to travel, where I want to go. And me being the first one to admit, I know that I've been distracted by stuff. But I made the choice. Like, I had this in front of me, and I had this in front of me. So, I think the biggest enemy, and I'm a die saying this, is the media against the black community. I think the biggest enemy against the black community is the media, because it is designed to destroy us. It is designed to put these images that are negative. However, we still have the option to not watch that.
Yes.
And
I
it
agree.
sounds surface. It sounds real simple.
And we also have the power to not give them the image. Okay, I understand that what you see on Love and Hip Hop or whatever reality shows where black women are fighting.
Clowning.
Yes, I get that. But what about just not putting yourself in that light? You know what I'm
What you
saying?
mean?
I mean,
Not watching it, or just know it's TV, so you don't
no,
gotta act
no.
it
I'm
out.
saying you talking about what the media puts out there, but the media is going to put out like they're actually doing this. So they're on
I
TV.
don't know. Do you think that the media is reflecting what the community is doing, or the community is
Well,
reflecting what the
now-
media
They're
puts
calling it
out?
reality TV.
I don't
so
think every cable outlet or show is designed to put us in a bad light. Now, a lot of them do. Like, of course, Fox News. They notorious for no matter what happens. That's what their agenda is. So I understand those, but some of them are just showing what we're doing. So I don't want to. Like, I kind of agree what he was saying in his speech, but you know, there's always two sides. There's what America created. So the people that you see, because if you think about it, if you deny somebody the right to learn or get better for decades and decades, what can you pass down?
exactly.
So we get that.
It's
Okay, but
ignorance.
now we have gotten, you know, a little bit better when it comes to education.
Technology.
You know, we
and all
can
of
we can
that.
sort of go to school where we want in some cases, if we get a scholarship or so. We can go to college and stuff freely. But how many of us are taking the opportunities that are given versus being deprived? So what my point is, I don't think a lot of us are taking the opportunities. Enough of us are taking the opportunities that are there to help us better ourselves.
I agree with
So
that.
you're saying that there are more, I guess, niggas or people acting like niggas than there are successful people?
I don't
Are you saying
I don't
that?
want to say that because I don't know the numbers, but I do want to say I'm almost willing to bet that the number of people who are not taking advantage of the opportunities, and the reason I'm saying that is especially African Americans, because other blacks in other countries, like I've talked to several different, like Jamaicans, Africans, from Nigerians, they say they look at America as a place to go and start a business. Like that's why we want to go because
enterprise.
y'all can actually go and start a business. Whereas the people who are here, we are here, but like we don't
But
take
I think
advantage.
it's harder on us than it is people who come from.
I don't
know.
I don't know if I entirely agree with people being awarded the same like opportunity and whether you choose to travel down this. I think in some instances you are, but I think people deal with like I think that let me just focus on children. Like I think children have a like a lot of children have a lot of like a hard home life. You know what I'm saying? They have a lot of responsibility.
Yes.
So
It's a lot of struggle.
Absolutely.
A lot of
You know what I
children go through
mean?
A lot of struggle.
and so you may not. I mean, I know people say, "Well, you have no reason to not, know this and know that because
I
of
don't agree
technology
with that.
and cell phones and stuff
I don't
like that."
agree with that at all.
But I just think that sometimes circumstances just
It's your environment.
your whole community. You know what I'm
It's your
saying? What you're
environment.
brought up, how you're brought up, because you may not even be thinking on those terms. Like certain communities or cultures, they push education, right? They push family. They push all of these.
Dr. Rogers.
What is it called? Like they push all of these things that character building, I guess, things that they want you to value and know and learn. And some people families don't push that. Some
Right.
people families have their children around drugs and
Yeah, I want to say
drunks
one
and,
quick thing before the doc
stuff like
comes
that.
on. If you actually have to go in a lot of these neighborhoods and just see the conditions, and you just see that there's nothing positive. Like the only thing that's positive is, which, I guess you can call it positive if you can use it the right way, is a basketball court. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing, like nobody's pushing positive in this neighborhood. So what do you expect?
These children to come and
Yes.
produce.
So now they're going to get of age, and they don't know. Nobody's taught them, or they haven't been shown anything else. So now
Now
they're going to
teaching.
raise another generation, and
Yeah.
I think that's where we've
I
gotten.
think so,
But
too.
for those who have choices or who can't, one more thing before Doc goes on. I think where we failed is we didn't. Me and my sister talked about this last night. We talking for hours, and she was saying that from her generation to now, she can see that we've decided to just give a generation of kids everything without showing them how to earn it, or showing them character and work ethics to get. And we ain't talking about just you got to go to college. It's just period. Like we've just given up. We don't want our kids to go through what we went through, but that's what made us
That
successful.
was character building. Yeah.
So,
All right. So how you doing, Dr. Rogers?
I am doing wonderful. How
Hey,
you doing?
Dr. Rogers.
Good.
what's
good.
up, Doc? I sure love when Doc.
Oh, yeah, Brother Darryl.
What's up? I'm gonna tell you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, Doc. I'm gonna tell you why I like when Doc call,
Huh.
cause he understands my plight
What do you mean?
on this show.
As a man.
He
your
knows
plight?
what I go through dealing with you and Solo.
As a
please.
man.
So
really.
Doc is the only man I think on the planet smarter than me. So I look up to him every time he opens his mouth.
That's why I want to come to Dallas.
Oh, please. Both of y'all, the drag.
What's up, Doc?
I want to come to Dallas. We'll make it pop when I get there.
He said,
Right
y'all
on,
gonna
right
make it
on,
pop.
Doc.
I don't know about that. You should have came to the luncheon this Saturday. There's a lot of women
Introduce
there that
Dr.
can
Rogers,
make
Lotus.
it pop.
Okay, so for you all that don't know, this is Dr. William Rogers, who is a regular guest on our show via calling in. We are so looking forward to the day where he will sit at the table with us, so hopefully that'll happen one day.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
But Dr. Rogers has a wealth of knowledge. He served as a public officer in the police force, an educator in higher education, taught at a university. So he has a wealth of knowledge. So we always like to bring him on. And who better to talk about how far we have come in the last 50 years than someone who was there and experienced the life on both sides. So before we even talk about that, so last week, Tuesday, made 50 years since
Wednesday.
last week Wednesday made 50 years since Dr. King was assassinated. That's the same day that Daryl was born. So I do think that there's some power in that. However, Daryl doesn't have the experience because he was just coming into the world. So we wanted to bring Dr. Rogers on so he can tell us, just if you can look at it from both sides, then and now. So what are your thoughts on how far we've come?
What are my thoughts on what was the last part?
How far we've come.
Okay, good. Well, it's interesting. There's several things that I've been considering this whole commemoration of Dr. King. I mean, one of the first questions I've asked myself over and over again, and I've asked, why did they choose to celebrate his work and his legacy based on the day he was killed? I really struggle with that. I have some real problems with that. I have some problems across the board. I mean, it's when we think of celebrating somebody's life, work, and what they do, we don't think about the day they died. Now we make sure the day they were born,
right.
Think about it. Even as in the Christian tradition, celebrating the death of Christ. We don't celebrate. I mean, the Good Friday is one thing, but it's Easter Sunday that we celebrate.
That's the real celebration.
So, so number one, I struggle with out of death. But however, it is a good time to reflect. And basically, I remember when Thurgood Marshall, who started back with the Brown decision out of 1954, 1953, he was a part of that whole narrative. When he was leaving the Supreme Court, and he was retiring as a Supreme Court justice, CBS interviewed him. And this was, around 1990 something. I don't remember when Clarence Thomas came in, but it was somewhere around 1990 that they interviewed him. And they asked him, he said, Mr. Marshall, you've seen a lot of things. And you said you witnessed the changes from 53. You sat on the bench where a lot of things came. He said, let me ask you a question. He said, what has changed since you from that point until now in the time of your retirement? He hesitated about 3 or 4 seconds, and he said nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Wow.
And so in answering your question, nothing.
So you don't think anything has changed?
No.
Wow.
Unemployment is still at the highest rate. There's still homeless people sleeping everywhere. In the very city of Memphis, where a lot of Dr. King's work did, particularly toward the end of his life, the sanitation workers are still struggling.
Wow.
They still have not, their salaries and income does not equal that. There was an article that was done a couple of weeks ago in a magazine called The Nation, and they critiqued the whole 50-year thing. The unions, because he was a part of Local 7.
But not through here.
And basically, if you look at some of their struggles now, some of the same things that he was fighting for then, they're still fighting for those now in that whole period of time. So, I guess, and I hate saying this, but I guess as you look at it, housing, food, clothing, and shelter is still the same. It's a struggle for people of African descent and poor people. We're still under a struggle. There's still a need for a poor people's campaign. They're talking about that. Matter of fact, there's one of the organizations that was in Memphis last week that was saying we need to reorganize the poor people's campaign.
That's crazy.
And so they're thinking about doing that. And they've started, matter of fact, they got a program, I think they call Something 15. And the whole idea is that you're going to donate $15 every person to try to raise some funds to help a lot of the poor workers and people. So a lot of the things that Dr. King fought for and the other workers, Dr. King was just one of many. Those things are still needed. They're still needed right now. They have not changed. I mean, a lot of times you see what we see is change, we see evolution. And obviously timing has created that. But his struggles are the same struggles that we have right now. Underpaid people, housing, city tax bases, rundown land, right through Mississippi. even to this day. You see,
Yeah.
and not only Mississippi, right through Detroit,
Yeah.
right through Chicago, New York,
Milwaukee,
Dallas,
Dallas.
Milwaukee, Atlanta, and this is supposed to be the seedbed of wealth. That's America over here. I tell you what, you wouldn't want to live there. And not to say that everything has to be perfect. That's not what I'm talking about. But when you begin to look at the numbers and the stats in terms of where things are, all you're seeing is the same thing. And a lot of people have argued why and how this is and why it's not going to change and why it has been the same, and again, you can debate that all day long. I think the bottom line is activism, and that's the one advantage that I think we still have. We still have room for activism, but I'm talking about organized activism, activism where people really come together, set a hardcore agenda, goals and objectives, and then really get out there, even without differences, whether you're working with people that may be LGBT community, or whether you're working with Hispanics, or whether you're working with Asians. If the goals and objectives are clear, then that's what you need to do.
Doc, do you think we have? Do you think this generation has what it takes to do that? And show me and give me an example of where somebody's doing it. Like,
just one more. It was kind of real low. I think I heard you say, give me an example of where somebody is doing that.
yeah, do you think this generation is capable of doing it? And if so, do you know anywhere that they are doing that?
I think they are. I think it is. Yes. To answer your question, yes, it's capable of doing it. But the agenda has got to be, the goal and objective has got to be clear. Now, obviously, first thing everybody would scream is Black Lives Matter. Okay, Black Lives Matter. There's a good organizational energy. There's a good organizational energy there. But the goals and objectives have got to be clear. They're not clear in what they really want to do and who's trying to do it and for why and what reason they're trying to do it. That's really not clear. That's going to create the schism in what they're doing. And then obviously it has to be applicable to the times with obviously a game plan on how it's going to work. If you were coaching a football team and the objective is that you're now down on the 40-yard line, there's 2 minutes left, and you need to make a touchdown, you're going to have to really strategize specifically on how you're going to do that and who are going to be the players and what is going to be the way you carry that out. That's got to be real clear. And I think that might be some challenges for an organization like that. I think the potential, again, and it's not that they're doing it, the potential historically was the black church. That was the potential. Like I said, I'm strictly saying that we had the potential to do it. But right now, its focus is warped. There's too much focus on materialism. And there's too much focus on gaining membership and being on television and holding workshops and and the economics of it. And I mean, you need economics regardless of what you're doing, but you need it in a way that's going to empower the movement, not individuals. And so the black church is not doing that right now. The Nation of Islam, philosophically, I think has a good agenda and platform. But again, it's around Islam. Islam is going to have some challenges in terms of who comes aboard and works. So they would have to be clear about how Islam would work in this, and they're not, because a lot of people just not going to embrace Islam.
What do you see that the nation is doing that you think if the black church modeled it could be effective?
It could be.
But tell us what do you see the nation is doing that the church needs to model?
Well, one of the things they're building self-sustaining programs, food, clothing, shelter. They are developing mechanisms to be able to offer. So, for instance, the nation is involved in a lot of cooperative methods. And so they're growing, for instance, plants and vegetables, and they're using the cooperative model to get that around to some people. Some of the mobs start doing that. They are empowering their members with economic opportunities, not get rich quick stuff, but at least the way they can feed themselves and their family. So that's being done. And then the other part is obviously you want to be able to empower your members spiritually, so they would be energized to get out here and fight for those changes, and not cower down when trouble comes your way. And so they're doing that. They do that very well. I like the way they do that. And they've been doing that a long time, even under the days of Malcolm, Elijah Muhammad, and so forth. So, yeah, that model that they use is good. I think where the challenge is Islam is going to challenge that. Not to say I'm not speaking against Islam. I'm simply saying that to get the coalition of people that need to work with you, that's going to create some serious issues that I think would stop. I think wouldn't it have been brilliant to have Martin Luther King and Malcolm X working together in a joint venture? And every time that Malcolm tried to reach out to King, they blocked him. Even when the 16th Street Baptist Church, the girls got bombed, Malcolm went down to Birmingham to meet with Martin, and they wanted to keep him from coming into the church. Some of those kind of divisional things. And that's because of Islam and the fact of what Islam stands for in a Western religious environment. This is Protestant America, and they're going to be slow to reach out and agree to work with an organization or a religion such as Islam. They're going to be very slow to move to that.
Hey, Doc, I got a question for you. A lot of the things you mentioned are sort of things that, like we've been blocked, and we aren't able to do certain things because of other factors, outside factors. My question is, what do you think that's available to us right now? What is it that we're not taking advantage of that's right before us and causing us to stay stagnant?
Our young people, I think that there is some real serious work available to us through our young people, and we may be bypassing that based on some own biases. When I say we, I'm talking about the adult 35, 40 and older, maybe missing out on that opportunity. And it was the same thing even back in the younger days, the young folk, because I graduated from high school in '62, and I went to A&T right out of high school. And at that time, A&T College in Greensboro was the center of the marching and the civil rights movement. And Jesse Jackson was a member of the A&T student body. He was the president. Matter of fact, my freshman year, Jesse Jackson was the president of the student council. And so it was him that was out. We were out leading the marches in Greensboro to Woolworths and Cress's and some of those other stores. But I remember after one of our marches, they held an assembly. They had all of the students had to come to this assembly on campus, and we all went. And the chancellor of the university, president of the university at the time, whose name was Dr. Dowdy, never forget it, he said to us in the meeting, he said, "Let me tell you something." He said, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but you can't do it here at A&T. He said, if any of you get arrested for anything that's being done, you will be expelled from this university.
Wow.
And he said, I'm letting you know, so I'm telling your mothers and your parents, I've sent letters home to everybody, if your child gets arrested, you will be expelled.
I don't know why was that.
So they was trying to shut down. They were trying to shut down the protesting, the acts of the youth.
Yeah, they were trying to shut down the protest. But most of them was coming from the college students.
Why? Why would they do that?
There were two traditional black colleges in Greensboro. One is A&T, and the other one is Bennett. Bennett College is an all-girl campus, but they were involved in the march with us. And then you had the state university called Western University of North Carolina, Greensboro, UNCG, and so they were very active too. And so they were trying the city power was trying to shut that down, trying to stop that. This is 1962 now, 1963. So they weren't about to hear none of that. And so I remember my mother coming up to Greensboro. They drove up to Greensboro, and she went in there and she said, "Boy, let me tell you, if you mess around here and get arrested and you make me waste my money," she said, "don't forget it. Don't come home."
Mm.
I'm saying, "But why?" She said, "Because you need to be here studying, getting your work. There's other ways to fight this and not doing that." So they were not supportive of that in that way. They really weren't, because the power coming from outside was real strong. The White Citizens Council was in Greensboro. They didn't have too much of a visible KKK, but they were there. And so they were threatening us, I'm talking our own peers. You remember what the National Baptist president, whose name was John Jackson, wrote a letter to King and told him the same thing. He said, "You're wrong." But he said, "My brother," he said, "you're wrong." He said, "You have no business doing that." And he really kind of laid him out for participating in doing some of the things that he was doing in Selma and those other areas. They were totally opposed to him. And at that time, King was in his early 30s. So he was youth, and everybody he was working with were kids, because that's where the energy is.
Do you think that it would work now if we had like our youth? Is that what you're asking? Youth leading the movement now, and we got behind them. Do you think that the older people are almost fighting against the youth?
Well, I think you got to kind of consider what the family structure is now. You don't have that strong family machinery that you had back in the 60s.
Yeah.
So a lot of young folks that are in college on their own, and so that's not going to be the same way. We didn't have grants. We didn't have those BEG grants, and we didn't have student loans and all that stuff. That stuff was being paid strictly by our parents. So that they controlled all that. So obviously, if they shut it down, we through.
Yeah.
Whereas now, you don't have that. Most students are in college now based on their own financial system and their own financial aid. So you won't have that strong family unit speaking up in that way. But I think in terms of backing them, you might have some work. I know William Barber, who was running Dr. Barber, Reverend Barber, he's just started a movement that he wants to get into called IF 2018. Have you heard of that?
No.
They're starting a campaign called IF 2018. He's going to be fighting for racial and economic justice, the right to work. That's him and another woman pastor named Liz E.O. Harris. And they were there at Memphis. They spoke, as a matter of fact, and they're reorganizing the Poor People's Campaign. Well, if they do this, and they do set it in motion, you know who's coming after them. The big power machines, the economic power, and that's right now is changed a lot who that is. That's the Amazons, the Apples, the AT&Ts, those are your big power industries. And so if you try to do anything that would shut them down or either minimize their effort, then you're going to. Then the White House is going to have to respond, just like they did during the civil rights years, and they responded in very ugly ways. Lyndon Johnson may have been looked as though he was all pro civil rights. But trust me, when those corporate powers came after him about shutting some of that stuff down, he had to respond, to that.
Doc.
That's who the money is.
Doc, I have a question. What do you think, since you were in that era, what do you think Dr. King, do you think if he had lived we'd be on a different level. Do you think, like, where we are as far as the youth, where we are as far as like, not where we should be economically, still, like, a lot of us are still materialistic. So do you think if he had lived, he could have made a difference where we would be better off than where we are now? Or do you think the system is so big that even he couldn't have affected it?
No, I think that it could have been so. Yeah, he was why. Dr. King had knowledge of, of developing and creating of how an activist machine needs to work. SCLC, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, was not just a group of preachers getting together and saying that we're going to march. This was an organized, logistical structure, and that's what he could have done. It's one thing to have the energy to go out here and shout and protest, but you got to be organized. Mm-hmm. You got to organize this thing logistically and strategically. And the civil rights movement had a few people like that. They had some folks that knew how to organize. If you ever get a chance, Google and look up the life of Ella Baker. That was a civil rights worker named Ella Baker. Now, Ella Baker was the planning, logistical person behind SCLC. And eventually she even picked up the baton and worked with Smith. And she was Stokely Carmichael's consistent mentor on how to strategize and how to carry out a program. And some of it is just grassroots stuff, just simple stuff. Like, for instance, she said, don't call a meeting of all of the workers and you don't have an agenda. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Don't call a meeting and you don't take minutes. Mm-hmm. Because all of those things are going to tear up your system, because you're going to get to the next meeting, forgot what you talked about at the meeting before, mm-hmm. and everybody be sitting there fussing and arguing about this and that, and you're not going to get anything done.
Right. Right.
And so it's more than just marching. There's some inside stuff that you got to be able to do. Make sure you know who's managing the money. That was Ella Baker's work. She made sure that there was a proper accounting of all of the expenses that the organizations were spending and using. And so that's another part of organizing and being involved in activism. So Ella Baker is a good example of how to look at creating a machine. And what King would have done is he would have brought those kind of people together and sat down, which is what he did with SCLC, which is the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. He pulled that together. He pulled together a machine that could work when those kids got arrested in Albany, Georgia, that they would be able to be bailed out real quickly with the lawyers and all the attorneys right there, that there wouldn't be any questions about that. That's what that machine did.
I have a question.
So you got to be able to do that. And there was another group out of Detroit who were able to do the same thing. Their name was, they were the Boggs family, B-O-G-G-S. There was James and Grace Boggs. Their organization was training civil rights leaders.
What was it called?
Training people how to lead young people. You know, how to go out there and carry the agenda forward. And they used to hold classes where they would teach them who to lead. They read books. They had to study other leaders.
Solo, I got a question for you, Doc.
Doc, I wanted to know, like, in current day, is there anybody else that you can think of that's probably on the same level as Dr. King at this point?
And when you say at the same level, you mean in the level of planning and thinking, or in the level of, facing the enemy in the way he did? There was a couple of attributes that King needs to be looked at. He was willing to face his enemy head on.
More so in facing the enemy.
Okay. No, not on a public level like that. I'm sure that there are some people that are willing to do that, because when you want to face your enemy, you got to consider where the adversarial outside enemies coming. Heck, King knew that J. Edgar Hoover was his enemy. He knew that Hoover was out for him. He knew that. But it didn't stop him from going to Bull Connors and facing Bull Connors and Jim Clark in the way that he did. Right now, I think the last person that there was that would have done that was Khalid Muhammad. On a public level.
So what's so is Jesse Jackson, is he just retired and
Jesse, yes. I'll let him be the last. Right? He's a good brother, and he really. But no, Jesse, that's not. First of all, Jesse works a lot in the system, and he works in with the system, and so I'm not quite sure where he's aligned, both covertly and overtly. There's some questions that I have about Jesse's historical and political activity. So I would be hesitant to say that he would be called. Al Sharpton, the same thing. I knew Al Sharpton when he was in New York. I used to get my hair cut at a barbershop that Sharpton used to come in and get his process done. And at that time, I didn't know the famous, I didn't know him, but I remember they called him the youth minister because he used to go to a church that Stephanie Mills went to. And I'm thinking of the church, and I just can't think of the name of it right now. But so he would. I remember a couple times him being in the barbershop when I would get my hair on Saturday. Sharpton would be in there getting his process done. So he was in a lot of cases talking loud. A drum, doing the drum thing, beating the drum. But again, facing the enemy, standing up, logistical movements, and taking out power. No, that wasn't.
So I'm thinking, in my mind, I'm thinking the closest person right now would be Minister Farrakhan.
That's what I was thinking.
But it's so many Christians that have been brainwashed to think that all Muslims are bad, that we could never get behind him. But if it were anybody that I could see who wasn't afraid to face the enemy, because he's been doing that his whole life, would be him.
Right.
And you need
But
someone.
I'll tell you what I do think. I do think Minister Farrakhan has trained a contingency group that probably as soon as he turns over the helm of the nation, because you got to remember, what is he? He is in his 80s.
Right.
Yeah.
He's going to be limited so much of what he can do. But there's going to be this contingency group that I think that might consist of people like a Khalid Muhammad, and that they will go out there and face that enemy head on. Because that's serious, because the stuff that he's done and said, normally power takes you out when you start doing stuff like that.
Right.
And they have not taken him out, and I think they have taken him out because he's got some stuff that they know he can use too.
So that leads to my next question. Do you think that for a movement to be powerful, because you were saying, like, as far as Farrakhan goes, you know that the system would be coming for him. Do you think it's proper or wise to get all races, or I don't know if you said that earlier, but the movement can't just be all black people trying to get justice? Do you think it can't work without other races, or is it an option?
No, I think it's almost got to, because I think that I think even specifically, very clearly, it's better for us to work with than really have been for the Native Americans, because they were really in a struggle kind of position for life and death, like we have been, but they've chosen not to work with us.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
I think why. Got to remember, we fought the Native Americans as well as they put us in captivity. They were hard taskmasters. The Cherokee was well known for enslaving Africans.
I did not know
I
that.
didn't
I
either.
didn't know that either.
Oh, yeah. Oh, big time.
Wow.
There's a book called Indian Slave Masters.
Oh, he's well studied.
And they said they were worse sometimes than the whites were.
What?
Wow.
Oh, I ain't going
How's
to
that
win. I am not going to WinStar no more.
How
I ain't
is that
getting
possible?
No more of my money.
I don't
But I
understand.
didn't understand. I never heard that before.
I mean, the only way that I can see
Oh,
that
yes,
is
indeed.
if
Native Americans were very hard, particularly the Cherokee. Now, a lot of the Cherokee are the ones that operated out of coming out of New York, going down into Virginia, Kentucky, North Carolina. North Carolina has a very large Cherokee reservation, and a lot of the Cherokees were well-known slave owners. But there's also a lot of interbreeding between the Native Americans and Africans. But at the same token, they still were slave masters to us. So I think that has created. And then remember, we fought them too. About the whole thing with the Buffalo Soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
That whole thing with them, we fought them too.
This just really messed me up, Doc.
I didn't know that either.
I said that just really kind of made me feel some kind of way.
Yeah, but it's true. It's really true. So it's a history. So they have not agreed to work with us. They would have been the best ones. Now, you want me to tell you who really was believe it or not, was the one ethnic group that did work with us very closely, and up to a certain point, were the Irish.
What? Wait, what?
The Irish worked with, because they were treated like dogs in America, because a lot of the Europeans, the English, believe that the Irish are black. There's a lot of black blood in there. You remember Frederick Douglass married an Irish woman?
I didn't know that.
You know that.
we need to. I need to.
Yeah, he married a
Why would they think Irish people had black blood in them? It's not like they were dark skinned, right?
Well,
Yeah, they
it's
were from
because of the
Ireland.
Celtic tradition. If you look up the Celtic tradition, it has a lot to do with African spirituality as well as with Egypt, ancient Egypt. There's a group of people coming out of ancient Egypt called the Druids, Druids, the Druids, and they were always adorned with a crown that had 7 snakes on it, and they used to be called the people who wore the crown of the 7 snakes. Well, they were occupying Ireland in the very, very early age, and there was an English general whose name was Patrick, and Patrick set up a force into Ireland to kill the people who wore the crown of the 7 snakes and run the Druids out of that territory. And that's the reason that the Irish celebrate St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick was that warrior. And if you look at a symbol of St. Patrick, he's standing with a sword in his hand, and there are snakes around his feet. And that means that what he did is he slew the people crowns of the 7 snakes.
Wow.
That's the history of St. Patrick.
He be dropping some knowledge that your brain
Unbelievable.
can't even take
That's
in at one
unbelievable.
time. Yeah.
So take a look at it. I mean, it's all right there documented. Look up the Druids, Druids. Now, what will happen is a lot of the Irish historians have attempted to hide that history. But what you have to do is you have to look at what the English historians. You remember the English are very, very arch enemies with the Irish. It's been for a long time. And it has a lot to do with the understanding of who the bloodline of the Irish are. So the Irish used to work with African Americans during the years of captivity closely because they would treat them as the African Americans, if not worse.
So, Doc, from just listening to what you said about how you said we haven't gained anything in 50 years, and you don't see that warrior who can face our enemies and lead us, and we don't have the organization. It sounds like you saying we just almost out of luck when it comes to.
Almost,
What it does, that type of logic. And see, I will agree. I have to say that there's obviously an oppositional ideology to what I'm saying. There are people that think that we can do it here. But it gets down to the argument, down to the nitty-gritty argument is, do we belong in America?
Wow.
Yeah, people have been asking that question for quite some time.
Because you remember, it goes back to the argument of Marcus Garvey and all of those ancestors who argued about going back to Africa. Now, obviously, the problem with that is looking at Africa is struggling too, but still, it's land that belongs to African people, and I guess if we come with tools and whatever we can do, that the opening is possible. That's the whole question that we've got to ask, because we didn't come here seeking freedom. We didn't come here looking for opportunity.
Right.
We came here in a hole of a slave ship.
Right.
So
Right.
this country was never designed to
For
welcome
us in the first place.
as an equal citizen.
Right.
Our citizenship had to be legislated, and it still does.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Things that we do here in America has to be done by legislation. When they did the Brown decision in 1954, that didn't change nothing.
Yeah.
White folks didn't want you to live next to them and go to school next to them, and they didn't give in to the Brown decision.
Right.
It was not until, believe it or not, the administration of Nixon that the schools became desegregated. And that was based on a hardcore law that was passed to finally force the South to segregate schools. That whole desegregation law that happened in 1994. Milwaukee, Wisconsin didn't segregate, integrate its schools until 1994.
After I had graduated.
94.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I told you I was the most segregated city in the nation.
Right. So what I'm saying is it really forces the question for us to look at as a people and as an organizing strategy is, can we achieve equal parity with everybody in America as African Americans? Can we do that?
Yeah, I don't
And we do that. Yeah, that's a question you gotta ask.
And then we need to be prepared for the answer and then act accordingly.
That's right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, and be honest with ourselves because
Be honest with yourself.
right. Well, the battery is going out on the phone, Doc. So it's about 10 o'clock. Give us your wrap up, and then we're gonna, cause the phone is about to die. Give us your final thoughts.
But first of all, always thankful. I appreciate it. I enjoy talking to you all. It's almost like your family. You are family. And even though some of us have never met. But I love you dearly, and I love what you all are doing and the work you're doing at Brick House. I mean, Brick House would be my hangout if I was.
You sure welcome, Doc.
Okay.
But anyway, I do thank you for this opportunity. I guess as we try to assess, I applaud the organizers with Dr. King, even though I don't know, I just got some real problems with what they did on this particular time. I think that his work does require evaluation again, but I don't know about on the day he was killed. That's not the time I would like to evaluate his work. But anyway, nevertheless, the discussion was put out in that front. And I think we also have to look at the one thing about that, the question that we just raised is, can we survive in the environment called America?
But that's a real one.
Possible as African people, and that's not an ironic kind of question. It's really one that has to be looked at and answered from a critical thinking perspective, because it does talk to our future, and that's our future. I mean, a lot of us are doing well. Some of us are doing well. You got good jobs, nice cars, nice houses, but that's not the measurement
Right.
of success and having faith. That's not the measure.
Correct.
So let's keep working. Activism is clearly going to be needed. I think that's the one thing the civil rights movement showed me, is that you're going to always have to be fighting, because you haven't won nothing. Mm-hmm. You know, they were getting ready to take the vote from you a couple of years ago, and the civil rights bill got chopped all up, so a lot of that's dead. We're still in segregated schools. Mm-hmm. So what have we done?
Yeah.
You know, we still got segregation. Segregation ain't over.
Yep. Yep. Agreed.
Places we can't go. So that's the question. So that's how I would end this discussion. And like I said, we got to keep working. That's all. Can't give up.
Right.
All right, we appreciate you, Doc, as usual. You need to
Thank you.
get to Dallas. You need to get to Dallas
Need
soon,
to come to Dallas soon.
or else we're gonna have to come up there.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do it.
Either way.
Right.
All
All
right,
right. Have a
Doc.
good night, folks.
All right,
Thank you.
appreciate it, Doc.
Thanks, Doc.
I don't know. He said a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff.
I don't know how he can just know everything.
Everything.
He's well studied. I think for one, we need to be well studied.
I mean,
All
that's
these different
another.
books and
I
stuff.
think that's another. I don't know if it's connected, but we say this all the time, but it's really we just don't read.
Yeah, that's true.
We don't.
Like my
yeah.
sister sat in front of me when I was on my phone last night. She was reading. She was sitting there reading to me. She said, "Daryl, look at this. Read this." And I'm like, "That's how you get it.
Yeah.
It's in the books."
Yeah.
And
But we're not picking up the books.
not picking up the books.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff she told me about Dallas last night, I was like, "Really?" She's like, "Yes." But we just don't take the time
Yeah.
to get that knowledge. Like they read back in the day. They didn't have a choice.
Yeah, they didn't have distractions.
They
All this
read
other stuff
laws
we
and
have.
they
Yeah.
they knew the law, they knew, and we see it on Facebook
And we think
and
that's
we
the
think
news.
that's it. But we don't know
Guilty.
what any of this means. I am
You-
too.
I
am
mean,
too. We
get-
don't read enough.
No,
Like,
we don't.
Yeah.
We just don't read
But
it
I don't
because
believe
it's
Facebook
because
news.
we want everything like
Yeah, we
now.
lazy.
Gotta be
Instant
quick.
gratification.
And that's the reason, man, I don't want to say this. It just seems like we just better enjoy each other while we can because
We about to
a
be
movement, it's like a movement. It's like, to me, it seems like we may not be in the game if we don't change our whole thought process.
Everything has to
We just
change.
gotta
and,
change.
and that question that he posed, I just feel like as black people in America, we're displaced. Because, if we go to Africa,
We're not Africans. We don't know nothing about the culture.
nothing. And then
We don't know how to farm. We don't know how to do that.
And we can be arrogant, you know what I mean? And so there may be some tension.
And we used to a certain kind of lifestyle that may not be.
generations, so
crazy.
I just think we're real comfortable right now.
we can't go to
And
South
a lot
America.
a lot of people just ain't, you might get your nails.
I don't think we
Or
take it
you might
serious.
get your hair. You might get something in your hair trying to
Yeah.
march or fight. You might get your nail. You might break
Yeah.
a nail.
Yeah.
And for men, we got
Yeah.
it's
We're not in the right frame. We need a new pair of shoes just to go march.
Yeah.
You know what I
Wow.
mean?
We got to get cute.
so.
go
Dr.
out.
Rogers flat out came out and
Yeah.
said absolutely nothing has changed.
Oh my
You may have a
God.
few more black people who drive a Mercedes, live in a nice house, but like he said, that's not the measuring stick.
That kind of hurt my feelings because I kind of felt like, black people were progressing. I mean, there may be individual progressions, but I feel like each individual progression is a win for everybody.
But
You know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
I think Dr. Rogers looks at it and sort of me too. I see on Facebook, social media, these all male schools, black schools, and black people progressing over here. But I'm in the hood and I still see
What
no
I see.
opportunity. That's
Right.
what I see. So I'm saying to myself, if my people are still living here, what that is over there
Don't
ain't
even
it's
apply.
something ain't
Right.
right because it's not reaching.
And I think it's
This
still,
segment.
I think that they're not enough. There has been progression to a degree. However, I think where we lose is those individuals that do make that progression don't come back for.
And to the community.
They
And
don't.
give back.
They want
Gotta-
to get away. They want to
you
get
got-
away from the community.
It's okay
instead of-
it's okay to get away. You want to live
That's fine.
in a different
but you still
neighborhood,
got to come back
but you
and work.
still gotta come back and
Yeah, 'cause
dedicate
it's
some
be a
time.
part of the
It's almost
community.
like the fight is over because they made it out and they're
So I'm
preparing this
out.
life for their
I
children.
hope y'all get out.
Yeah, I get it. I don't know, but I was kind of left with no hope now. Because I'm thinking, like, when he said something about the young people, I feel like the young people are making strides. Like, I kind of believe in them. But then I thought about, okay, the revolution, like, children are usually empowered. When they go to college, they learn all this new stuff, and they become revolutionaries, or they fight for some type of cause, develop programs or whatever. But I think HBCUs are kind of dropping the ball a little bit, because they're not inspiring them.
I do too.
You know what I mean? They're not teaching the history of the HBCU. They're not, like, lighting a fire up under them to make them want to, look at the world, I guess, in a different view, and fight or work or, do something that's constructive.
It is discouraging, because it's almost like, do you really make all these sacrifices in life to fight for something that you know you're not going to win?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, do you really give up so much of your life, and like, okay, so this generation gave up and we still here. This generation, they fought hard, but we still here. So, and I think maybe that's also maybe some of what we're seeing now too, though, is it may be some residue of people who are just giving up hope, and they don't even know that that's what it is. Like, they're acting out. It may be like, well, my mama did that, and she did it the right way, quote, the right way, and it didn't work for her, and my grandmama struggled, and what I'm saying, like, so why can't I just live life to the fullest, day by day, kick it, hang out, and then when I'm gone. But at least I enjoyed my life while I was here. At least I thought I did.
I get it.
Yeah.
And that's sad that like, a lot of our people really have to think like that. They don't have to, but that really can.
But their
I
experiences.
can see that, though.
Yeah, their experiences and the people that they can, the proof that's in front of them.
Exactly.
That's all they have.
That's what they see.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay.
Well,
I guess we gotta.
That was a heavy conversation.
Oh yeah, that was especially when he said the natives enslaved.
Yes.
Like, I was like,
I feel a
What?
little incomplete though. Like, I feel like
We need to have a charge of.
yeah, like, it's not like I need it all to come together, because we kind of had to, stop for the sake of time and battery and all of that. I just kind of feel.
Or we can tell them to come back on.
we were at the end of the show though.
It's
Yeah.
10. All right, so let's do wrap up. What you got, Solar?
Well, first, I would like to thank all of our viewers for tuning in. I appreciate you. Thank you for your support. This was some really good information to kind of take in. I hope that it inspired you to read some of the books that Doc announced and research some of the topics that he spoke of. I know it definitely inspired me. And I think that reading will definitely open your eyes to, to see so that you can identify, what the problems are, what you can do about it, and what needs to happen. And then, hey, you may be that Dr. King, who has that power of influence, that gift of gab to actually move a people. So, read, please.
My final thought is, I didn't see it as bleak as Doc did.
He just hurt.
But if you really think about it, if you get past the few basketball athletes, singers, because a lot of people want to think that's the representative of black people. Like, nah, y'all made it. Why are y'all still complaining? No, it's millions and millions and millions of us who ain't made anything and have no future to look forward to. I just think you gotta just do what little you can, and no amount is too small. Like, even if it's just working with your own kids to make sure they know their history and you getting them on the right path, that may just be enough, because a lot of parents aren't doing that. So don't think whatever amount you can do is too little. Just do whatever you can, and we got to get back to
Village.
Yeah, the village mentality. We have to get back to that. It's just so
we've been
hard.
saying that strong. It's gonna happen because we've been putting it
I
up.
don't know.
It's
And the reason I say that is because, and then this is the reason I question it. I ain't saying it's impossible, but when parents are getting younger and younger, that's just further and further away you're getting from that, that
That's
old
why
school
we need the
mentality.
because
Like
they getting younger.
the village is where it's at, and everybody else has a village. They don't even have to say it's a village. It's just built in. Like,
Yeah.
That's
it's
crazy.
built in. They ain't got to say it. They ain't got to say.
They just live it.
They ain't
It's
got to
just
say
their life. That's
let's
their reality.
support our own. That's just
like
for,
village.
for
What?
some reason they just innately do that, and we struggle with it. So we just have to rethink, unlearn what we've learned in this last 2 decades, if you ask me, and go back to. We got to go back to the drawing board. Like,
I agree.
basically, what I'm saying is, we all we got.
Literally.
So, literally, we all we got. Now, we do need others to help us, and we ain't saying that we're gonna do it by ourselves, but
We gotta learn how to depend on us, though. We gotta set the standard and raise the bar and accountability and all of that.
And we all got to do our part, for whatever your specialty is.
Yep.
So my final thoughts are close to the same. 50 years since Dr. King was assassinated. I wasn't around then. I was close, but not there. But I do think that the black community is in distress. I think that there are the biggest problem that I personally see is I do think that there are pockets of individuals who really are trying to do the work. But what I see as the biggest challenge is coming together, because we have to learn how to support each other, and it cannot just be about me and mine and what I'm trying to do, and then you want me to show up for you, but you don't come show up over here. But that's really how we get our community back. That's how we get the village back, is when we come, because during the civil rights movement and even prior to that, it was the church. The church it was 4 walls that people came to, and they brought their children, and they did homework there, and while parents were doing their activism work, somebody else was teaching the kids and going over homework, and somebody else was in the kitchen cooking because they had dinner, because they had work to do. And they understood that. So I do really, really think that the biggest missing component is the church, the absence of the church from the community. Like, and it's not to attack the church, because the church just moved with the times. But we also have to get back to what the people need, because all of our people were not able to move with the times. So we have to go where the people are and where the needs are. So I do think that I don't know how to, I'm not a gloom, and not that that's what that was, but I don't know how to not believe that it's possible. So that's all I can say, is that we have to keep pushing, because the alternative is we give up. They over there talking? Y'all talking?
no, not about you.
Okay. But so, yes, it is very important for us to do what it is that we do and stay focused and do not get discouraged. And even when we started at the beginning of the show, I feel like y'all, even when we started at the beginning of the show, we talked about being comfortable, being in your lane, and don't even look for other people's approval. When you know that you have a job to do, when you know you have a calling, even if you are doing it by yourself, do it. Because if you feel like you were called to do something, that is between you and the Creator, and you don't have to allow anybody to get in between that. Only person that needs to believe in you is you. Everybody else is extra. So when we can get that mindset back, and we can get back into what is important, and that's not this selfish lifestyle of, as long as I make it, I'm good, me and mine, but want for your brother what you want for yourself, want for your sister what you want for yourself, and want for his or her children what you want for yours. That is how I believe that we can start to heal our community. That's our time tonight on The Black of the Berry. We will see y'all next week. Peace.
Peace. Man, I need to find some time to read.